Okay, this, my friends, is Frane Selak. Frane is a Croatian music teacher. Now, he's also either the unluckiest or the luckiest man on the planet, depending on how you see things. Frane has survived a train wreck, a plane crash, a bus crash, having his car blown up twice, and getting hit by a city bus. Seriously, true story. Frane also won the Croatian lottery $1 million. After all he's been through, he gave it all away to help other people. And he said he's never been happier. Frane came back by giving back. This is Nicholas Brunaconti. Nicholas is the father of Mark, who is a quadriplegic after a tackle in a college football game. In the emergency room, as Mark lay there struggling for his life, his dad looked into his eyes and read, "Help me, Dad." And he did. He started an amazing foundation called the Miami Project, which is all about helping people like Mark, thousands of them, hopefully walk again someday. To come back, Nicholas gave back. This is a friend of mine, Nicole Hockley. Her little boy, Dylan, was killed in the Sandy Hook shootings. Nicole co-founded Sandy Hook Promise, a foundation that is making sure the world is a safer place for our children. Nicole came back by giving back. We all go through things in our lives that impact us, influence us, and change us. But we can't control everything that happens to us. We can control how we react to it. And that reaction is part of what I think is the art of the comeback. Nicole, Frane, and Nicholas all reacted by channeling their pain into making a difference, by helping others to make their own hearts grow stronger. To come back, they gave back. Well, my comeback started on a beautiful Colorado day in May 1994. Early that morning, my husband jumped out of bed, gave me a quick kiss and a "love you, babe," and headed out the door to go meet my parents for his 25th birthday surprise. A few weeks prior, my dad had run into an old family friend, Cliff from Monument, who was a United Airlines pilot for 30 plus years. My dad came back so excited about Cliff's new hobby. It was doing air shows with vintage stunt planes. Well, we thought that would be the perfect surprise birthday gift for my young daredevil husband. The plane did all the stunts, and Cliff radioed my folks who were watching to tell him that they were going to do a flyby over them so they could take pictures before they landed. Instead, the plane crashed into the ground, and Brian and Cliff were both killed instantly. Obviously, I was devastated. For the next few days, weeks, I was so lost and sad, I couldn't get out of bed. But there were two little creatures that helped me out, Mick and Winnie. They would nudge me with their wet nose or give me a quick woof to remind me that life had not stopped, that we still needed to go out and play ball. So together, we played ball. We put one foot, one paw in front of each other, and 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time, we started to come back. That is until I blew $1 million. That fall after the crash, I received a settlement from the plane's insurance company. And you'd think that would help out a little bit, but it didn't. In fact, the money made me feel terrible. I didn't want money back. I wanted buy-in back. I wanted our life back. It was incredibly hard, but it did give me some space and some time to heal, and maybe a little too much time. Part of my healing was a quick rebound marriage and divorce to a guy that I'd grown up with in Monument since 8th grade. You'd think that his track record of 3 DUIs and a couple rehab stints would have stopped me in my tracks, but it didn't. Unfortunately, that quick rebound marriage cost me $500,000 of the settlement and 5 years in court to get out of. It did, however, give me a beautiful gift to get back into the game of life, and that is my daughter. This is Tori, when she was a little one. She brought me back to life. And she made me smile again, and she still does. She's sitting out there over somewhere. But Tori was just part of the solution. I thought I needed to start a business to get back into life too. So I started and quickly shut down a baby bedding catalog company called NurseryWorks, because being pregnant and having Tori taught me so much about what pregnant women wanted, not. This was the sensible business that everyone thought was what I should do, not the business that Bayan and I had dreamed up. They thought doggy daycare or Camp Bow Wow was absurd. Well, what was absurd was that I had just blown $1 million in under 6 years. So I was a single mom, back in pharmaceutical sales, with $83,000 left in a retirement account. My little brother Patrick knew I was struggling, and he came to me and said, "Why don't we dust off the old business plan for Camp Bow Wow and see if we can't just make it happen?" Well, I didn't think it was so absurd anymore after I tried what was sensible and had gotten absolutely nowhere out of it. So we did it. I wanted to get that $1 million back too, on my own merit. But I really wanted to see our dream of Camp Bow Wow come true. And I really wanted to create the happiest place on earth for dogs. So we launched Camp Bow Wow in an old VFW hall on South Broadway across from Herman's Hideaway, for those of you who remember. It was a messy place, but we got it cleaned up, put a logo on the wall, and it worked out beautifully. A few months after opening Camp Bow Wow, we got a call from the Rocky Mountain News. Some of you may remember that too. And they wanted to do an article on us. So I show up to the building, I walk into camp, and I'm going to meet the reporter, and I hear my brother yelling at the dogs in the background. He's in the play yards. "Hey, no humping!" And I stop, and I cringe, and I look over, and the reporter smiles at me, and he titles the first article ever, "No Humping Allowed at Camp Bow Wow." It's lovely. It worked well. We made t-shirts. Soon after, we opened our second camp, and things really started cooking. We were getting calls from all over the United States from people saying, "I want to open my own dog camp too." Well, that's a really good idea. So I'm going to max out every credit card I have, file the registration fees, and voila, we were franchising Camp Bow Wow. About 1.5 years later, we had a magical thing happen. We were featured on the cover of America Online on the homepage as the next great franchise. And for those of you that remember, everybody was on AOL back then. You know, you've got mail. We got over 1,000 franchise sales leads from that one day. It was crazy. Over the next couple years, we sold over 100 franchises. I hired my family, my friends, my neighbor, the guy driving down the street. It was crazy. We opened camps all over North America. The fur was flying. Thank goodness I followed my passion and not what was practical. By doing what I loved, it helped me come back. Dogs were my passion, and franchising was how I helped other people follow their passion. I also was able to start the Bow Wow Buddies Foundation, which is all about helping dogs find a home and taking care of dogs when they need it, which made the comeback even greater. It was so fun. Life was fun again. But then the market crashed. 2008, and all heck had broken loose. But we dug in and fought back. Camp Bow Wow was almost destroyed by the recession, by the downturn, and so was franchising in general when financing dried up. I had to lay off a lot of people, including some close family and friends, because about half my team were close family and friends. That's a whole nother talk. But we made it through the recession and kind of survived as it dragged on. Meanwhile, the heartbreak of losing Bayan and losing Love was a much tougher comeback. I seriously did not think I was going to find anyone like him again. But my close friend Becca did something magical. She introduced me to this cute new neighbor of hers, Jason. And Jason and I hit it off. We met at actually a Centro in Boulder. She set us up on a blind date. We hit it off, and 13 years after the plane crash, I can say I found love again. We got married in a Vegas drive-thru with 12-year-old Tori in tow. And we started working on growing our family. Well, that didn't come easy either. Nothing in my life at that point seemed to. And I had several miscarriages. I went through in vitro treatment. But when we did have the comeback finally, it was a big one. We have Holly, who's 5, and twins, Jack and Jenna, that are 3, that are now part of the pack. And yes, our house is absolute chaos. Our life is crazy, but it's tons of fun, and our life is filled with a lot of love, and tantrums, and Cheerios embedded in the carpet. On the business front, it's been a wonderful ride. We made it through the market crash and ended up on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing private company list 5 years running. We managed to grow it to $85 million in system sales. Yes, that's a lot of doggies, a lot of fur. And we're able to sell to VCA, the largest veterinary chain, last year for some dog kibble. Just kidding. So, I lost my husband. I lost $1 million. I almost lost Camp Bow Wow in 2008. I dealt with infertility. I dealt with a business that failed before the one that worked. And then a tough divorce and custody battle. So at least once a week, somebody says to me, either A, that my life is like a TV movie, made-for-TV movie, or B, how did you come back from all of that? How did you come back and end up so happy? Well, honestly, you guys, I didn't know the answer to that question. I really didn't. Until the art of the comeback kind of came to me in an unlikely place, my pediatrician's office. I sat and talked to Dr. Bucknam about Tori's high school friends and how lost and sad they were. And he told me that in all of his years as a doctor, his piece of advice for parents that had kids that were lost or acting out was simply to turn them outward, to focus them on the idea that they were part of something much bigger than themselves. He wanted them to give back. To come back, they should give back. Well, I thought about it and I thought, geez, that's exactly what I've done my whole life. That's the theme in my life stories. Every time I had adversity, I would turn around and focus on something else or someone else. So at the end of the day, when the plane crash happened, I had cared for my dogs first, and that got me out of bed every day. Then I cared for Tori, which got me back into life and really engaged. And then I started helping my franchisees open their businesses and follow their dreams. And finally, I was able to help all those dogs with the foundation. So, Frayne, Nicholas, Nicole, and I, we all looked outside. We turned outward. We helped others. But in the end, it helped us heal ourselves. That's what we did. To come back, we gave back. That is the art of the comeback.